Hey guys, tonight I thought I would just go through some of the steps that you might want to check if you're rebuilding a clutch. This is out of a 73 H1D. It's out of my spare motor, and so nothing's been done to it. I just kind of wiped it all off and everything. But the question came up a couple days ago, is what to do with these pieces. So one of the things you want to do is, if you're going to try and reuse your older stuff, which I did in the beginning, and it worked okay until I, did a few things to get a couple more ponies out of it. Then it started slipping. But, for the stock guy running around, should be just fine. One of the things you want to do is look at Dale's site, okay? And see what the service limits are on the friction sides, okay? And then, and I don't know what it is, I'd have to look, but it doesn't matter. And then you can either use a digital caliper to measure it, okay, or an analog caliper, or a micrometer, okay, measure that. And just go around and check them all in several spots, okay, and see that they're all within the service limit. Another thing you might want to do is deglaze these, okay. Now this side's kind of easy because you can see these tangs are bent this way. You could actually take a piece of glass and say some 500-600 grit sandpaper, and lay the sandpaper on the glass, lay this on the glass, and just give it a quick buzz, okay, a quick rotation, and that'll kind of break the glaze on this side. This side you would have to just pretty much cut a piece of paper and just kind of deglaze it by hand, okay. So you could do that to all the frictions, and that's going to help. Another thing you're going to want to do is see if these are warped, okay. And one of the ways I do it is just clean them all up, make sure there's no grit or nothing in between them by rubbing them or something, and then you can actually pinch these together and then look up at a light, and try to look through here. You can kind of see, if these are really bad warped, you would see lots of light through here, okay. If you're looking at a light bulb or something, the daylight, whatever. But if you just press those together a little bit, put a little tension on them, make sure they're clean in between, hold them up to light, and just look through here. If one of them's warped, you're going to see it. Okay, if they're all warped, you're going to see it. Okay, so that's kind of one good way you can check to see if your plates are warped beyond usage. Something else you may want to do is deglaze these. Not only did we deglaze these, but it's a good idea to break these up. And there's a few things that I've heard guys doing. One that's kind of easy to do if you have the ability to do it is just take and sandblast these. Okay, both sides, flip them, sandblast them, and that breaks the glaze on those and kind of gives you a fresh start. The other thing you can do is take some like 220, okay, or whatever. Don't go too coarse, and you can actually take and just with one pass start somewhere and scratch them like this, and just go all the way around in kind of an arc. Okay, and just go all the way around doing that, and then flip it over and go the opposite way, okay? So we're going to go this way now. Okay. And what you want to end up with is, after you go all the way around, you want to end up with those pointing that way, and those pointing the same way, actually. So if you look at it from a rotational point of view, okay, these are going that way, and these ones on this side are also going that way. Then when you install them, since this basket runs counterclockwise in the bike, okay, so that's front of the bike, rear of the bike, okay, this is going backwards if you wish. So you want them in there when you stack them in, stack them like that. Something else you're going to want to do is check the free length of your springs, okay? And again, Dale's site has all that information, okay? So all you got to do is just go to Dale's site and look up your bike and see what the specs are. But again, you can just measure it with the free length with a caliper, okay, and see if they're all good. And actually, in my opinion, for the cost of the springs, you might just be better off to buy new ones. These are 40 years old, 43, whatever, depends on the bike. And, I don't know. But whatever you end up doing, even if you buy new ones, if you start feeling around on these things, you'll feel sharp edges. I mean, really sharp. I take a Dremel with a sanding disc, or you can do it by hand, and break all those sharp edges. I've even gone as far as taking it on a polishing wheel and make sure those edges are smooth inside and out. I've seen a lot of the inner baskets where the towers are, that these slide over, okay, and down on the end of that tower it'll just be all cut up, and it's from these sharp edges digging in instead of floating over. So anyway, those are just some of the things you might want to take a look at while inspecting your clutch. One other thing, and I don't have them in here, is the little springs that go inside here. They stack. They're basically, they lay right in here, okay? Just make sure they're not broken. If you have one that's broken, you'll need to either find somebody that can weld it back together for you, or find a replacement, okay? But other than that, and the other areas I point out in some of my other clutch videos, you should be able to use that clutch again if everything is in spec. So, okay, I hope that helps somebody out there. Thanks.